Alright guys, today's video we're going to be doing a valve cover and engine mounts on this 2015 Smart ForTwo. I just want to briefly go over how to remove the air filter box entirely to access this motor mount and the valve cover. The videos I have seen don't go too in depth about it, or they try to do a workaround. So I just want to show you really quick how to do that. So first things first, obviously you can't lower the motor because you can't access the motor mounts. So that's already out of the way in order to remove this box. So you're going to need to disconnect this hose right here, which is going to be 2 7mm, and you're going to squeeze it and pop it out of place. Then you're going to remove that air filter cover, which is 3 front clips right here. And then you're going to remove the top and pull it out, and you're going to remove that air filter. This guy over here goes in like this. It's going to be another 7mm all the way hooked up to that throttle body, but about half of it is tucked underneath this engine. So there's going to be that 7mm right here. This is where that little squeeze fitting is, and then the air filter cover. Underneath this is just a little quick connect, rubber bushing if you want to call it that. And then over here there will be a where'd she go? I believe it's T27. Yeah, T27 that you'll remove right there. So once you have that out, you're going to need to remove this hose. You're going to have to break the connection. You can use a hose clamp or whatever going back together. Remove that off. Then you're going to have to remove the engine torque mount right down here. Once you remove the engine torque mount, you'll be able to articulate the engine, and that's what we're going to be doing in order to get that air filter stuff out. So once you have that torque mount moved, I pry it on the oil pan all the way towards the front of the car very lightly to get the motor to shift back so that I could squeeze this out of here. Then I put it right here on the transmission and jacked it this way. That way I could get this air filter box out. There's going to be 2 T27s. Those 2 little things right there are going to be T27s as well. Now once you get it to right about here, something like that, you're going to need to pop this boot off. A little air filter hose. And I just did that with a pry bar. I actually stuck the pry bar in here and pushed on it. Popped right out. So I'm going to go ahead and continue on with what I was doing. Just wanted to kind of show you guys how to do that real quick. Just hopefully help y'all out. This one's pretty straightforward. This is pretty straightforward as well, but I will be touching base on those as well here shortly. Alright, so continuing with this, I don't have the right size torque socket, unfortunately. I only go up to 16. I don't know what size this is, so I'm not even going to guess to screw y'all up. I used a 14mm 6-point socket, and very lightly. It fits on perfect. It's not recommended, obviously. Don't sit there and crank on it. If you're going to do that, make sure you have the perfect angle, because as soon as it twists, it's going to strip it off. So I would highly recommend looking up the size and getting the right tool. But I've had to do this in the past, so I'm used to how to do it. These are going to be 2 6-point 16mm, and those are going to be the E-Torques. And now we're just going to go ahead and lift this off, I believe. Oh, there's one more. I'm sorry. There's a third hidden back there. So there's 3. So I need to get one more off, and then I'll get back with you here in a second. Alright, so we got that third one out. They're all the same size as well, so it doesn't matter the order that they go in. Go ahead and take that mount off, replace it with a new one, and we'll get back to you here in a second. Alright, so now we have this all set. They're all tightened down, motor's pulled back up to where it's supposed to be. This is where we have the transmission jacked in order to support the weight. We still have the torque mount out. You could always put the torque mount back in to help support it as well if you're kind of a DIY novice. That way the motor doesn't shift out of the way and you drop the motor or something. So I would recommend putting the torque mount back in, doing this motor mount, then taking the torque mount back out. That way you can articulate the motor to get the air filter box and everything back in. So we're going to go ahead and move on with doing the valve cover and that other motor mount, and then we'll get back with you here shortly. Alright, so there's going to be a bracket that goes right here. You can see where that shiny spot is, where the bolt and the bracket were. You're going to slide this clip harness, so you're going to push the pin down and slide it out, and then you're going to slide this rubber boot off of that holder, and then you're going to take a 16 millimeter socket and you're going to remove this bolt. This is my setup to access it. Remove that bolt, put that to the side. We're going to go ahead, remove those 3 and that 16 back there, and I'll get back with you here in a second. Alright, so as far as this one goes, it's going to be these 3 E14s. Yeah, E14. So they're a little bit smaller head. So it's going to be 3 of those. And then it's going to be 2 16 mils. One of them you already removed when you did that bracket. So there's just going to be that one back there. You're going to make sure to support the motor on the oil pan. Just raise it just enough to where it's holding it. You can do a little bit extra to make sure it doesn't go anywhere. You're going to take that out, put the new one in, put it back together, reverse process, and you'll be good to go. Then if you don't have the engine torque mount on, you'll need to put that one back on. And if you haven't already reassembled all this, you're going to do all this in the reverse order as well. But hopefully that helps. Leave any questions, comments, or whatnot in the comments below, and I'll try to answer them all. I hope that helps. Also, as far as removing the air filter box, I know this is kind of late in the video. There is a bracket. You can see the bracket down there. One of the screws goes here, and the other screw goes here. And it's going to be those 2 T27s as well. So that's that silver bracket. That's going to actually hit up against this right here. So you won't be able to remove that until that's out. Sorry for the late thing on that, but you'll need to remove that as well. The top one you'll get from the top, the bottom one you'll get from the bottom. I used this guy right here, and it worked great. So hopefully that helps. Alright guys, see y'all in the next one.